Welcome to Daddies the Podcast. I'm Eric.
And I'm Greg.
And this week, not this week, we actually are doing a new segment. This segment is called Daddies Delaware Highlights. And our first guest is Tia from TasteWithTia. Tia, thank you for joining us.
Oh, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're really excited to talk to you. We love what you're doing. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I've had two foodie pages. I started my one in high school, and I remember I got to like 700 followers, and I was so excited. I thought I was like the coolest thing, and then I got locked out of it. So that was a bummer. I was like, all right, am I even gonna like continue to do this? Like, whatever. It kind of like bummed me out.
That's devastating.
That is devastating.
Little bit. But I have a passion of cooking. That's my hobby. I like finding new recipes. I like cooking with my loved ones. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm like amazing. Like, I just like doing it for fun. It's relaxing to me. So I was like, you know what? I got into college and I was like, I'm gonna start up a new one. And I've had this page now since like 2020. And I never thought that it was gonna like amount to what it is now. Ever. Like, I never thought I'd be recognized for what I'm doing. I feel like people used to make fun of me for my page. You know? So it's cool. I love cooking. It's, like I said, it's relaxing for me. It's just a little hobby. I love taking pictures. I love going to restaurants and reviewing food. So it's a lot of fun to me, and I love doing it.
Well, this is like probably just the low-hanging fruit question. Do you have it's got to be tough to pick. Do you have a favorite like restaurant or like food that you've reviewed at a restaurant?
Ooh. That's hard. I'd say as of recently, I went to Tommy's Tavern. Tommy's Tavern Pub, I believe. At Christiana Mall. It was so good. I got their it's like firecracker shrimp and calamari. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful.
Is the firecracker, is that like bang bang sauce with the sriracha mayo?
It was really good. And I love the atmosphere in there. They kind of have it like dark and it's like super chill. It's like good to watch, like sports there. I don't know. It was nice. And also Tio's, it's right next door to them too. That's like my spot right now. My boyfriend and I love going there. We get their asada fries. It doesn't even last. Like, we get it, it's on the table, and it's gone in like 5 minutes.
So whenever you go there, it's not a question of if you're going to order it. It's a question of how many orders of it are you going to get.
Like, we already know. We look at each other and we're like, yeah, we're getting it. Like, we already know.
And I feel like, too, like, the mall has really, especially the Christiana Mall, has really evolved with the food choice. I mean, before you had Ruby Tuesday and the food court and the restaurant at the second floor of Nordstrom. And that was really it. And now I feel like they've really kind of branched out. Really, I feel like since the pandemic and everything kind of shut down. And now they're bringing in all of these like super... I don't know. I don't want to say. They're just like new creative spots. And I'm here for that.
Well, my problem with food at the Christiana Mall is if I go to the mall, I know that I'm only going to eat one thing, and it's Sukihana.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. You sound just like my boyfriend.
Every time. Yep. Number 4, fried rice, no vegetable. That's it. Every single time.
We had that today. Like 2 hours ago, we were eating that. Well, it's so hard because like it's been so good for, I feel like, longer than I remember. I mean, like everyone, if you're from Delaware and you've been to the Christiana Mall, you know who that dude is with he normally has on the flat hat.
Yeah,
he's got the red hat on.
Yeah, they're my neighbors. So much love to them.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I grew up
that's amazing.
Signs. Shout out to Kaji. We're So yeah,
That's amazing. We saw he dyed his hair actually.
Yeah,
I
we saw that
I
he
noticed.
bleached his bleached the hair.
He doesn't know it, but that's my man.
Yeah,
there.
right on. He doesn't know how much we appreciate him.
yeah, like it's always been good. It's never
Oh, yeah.
failed. And like growing up too, when we would have snow, like when we used to have bad snowstorms, I feel like we don't get that anymore in Delaware, like at all.
No.
But when we did have one like years ago, I remember we were out of school for like a week straight, and I believe we helped shovel their driveway because they're always on the go, like no matter what. I don't like they're never home. So we wanted to help them. And I remember they came over with like, oh my, like a pile of fresh dumplings, and we were just like,
Oh,
That's amazing.
wait. I want to shovel driveways.
Can I go
for
shovel
food.
their driveway?
Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be
right
I
on.
know,
Ideal,
they're
actually.
they are so sweet. They are so sweet. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Okay.
That's actually funny. Greg and I were actually just wondering, like, if they lived local.
Yeah, we were
or
wondering
not.
if they were local or like Pennsylvania or Maryland for some reason.
It's weird.
Yeah. Actually, Ruby Thai, my friend's
Yeah.
mom owns that too. So they
Wow.
it's a family joint. Ruby
Well,
Thai
and I
and
noticed-
Sukihana.
Yeah, I noticed they'll like switch. Like I'll see
Yeah.
people walk like across the food court from one to the other, and
They're
I
always
think.
on
Oh yeah.
Well, and I don't want to play into the family stuff or not, but I feel like the A game is like Sukihana. That's just like the all stars that work there,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Not
mean,
to
You have to
deter-
work your way up to the
That's like
bullpen.
OG.
Yeah, you got to start in the minor leagues over at the other one, and you work your way up to Sukihana.
Yeah,
But I
for
mean,
sure.
too, like the especially at the Christiana Mall. I don't even want to talk about the Dover Mall and the Concord Mall because the food choices there are very slim. But
Yeah.
I feel like at the Christiana Mall, the food court is really like you have Sukihana,
Mm-hmm.
you have Ruby Thai, and then you have Chick-fil-A. McDonald's never lasts at the Christiana Mall. Taco Bell doesn't last. So. And I can get fast food wherever.
You can get
but
it
if I'm,
wherever, you know?
yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah. So I feel like that's kind of always been our go-to.
Mm-hmm.
But to jump out of the Christiana Mall,
Yeah,
'cause we
right.
could probably talk about Christiana
Yeah,
Mall food
right.
court all day, right? Shout out to Sabaro. It's like, just kidding. Wait, I'm just joking. I don't know who eats there. I don't know how that place is still open because that's also been there for forever, right?
Yeah, I know. I used to love it. I used to like the white pizza, but
Okay.
you know, times have changed.
Sure, right. Taste buds as well, right?
Yeah.
But we were wondering, what was the inspiration for you to even start that first page back in high school? Do you have did you always have a passion for cooking, or what was it?
You know, it's a good question. I was friends with this one girl in high school. She was a grade ahead of me, but like so far ahead of her time. Like she was so intriguing to me. And I remember when I would go over to her house, she would just cook for me. And I'd just sit there and be like, this is amazing. Like, I'm getting spoiled. I'm getting bruschetta when I get all, like, I'm getting a little brisket when I'm getting off school. And, like, I'm chilling with her. And, like, it was amazing. But, like, I don't know, she put me on to so many different dishes. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I always liked cooking pasta, but I never really thought much of it. I was just like, okay. And then my mom, she always like cracks me up with it because she doesn't really like cooking anymore. So that's when I started to get into cooking. In high school, like I said, the girl that I was friends with, definitely that intrigued me. I was like, I like that. I like the vibe she gives being able to cook. I don't know. It's cool. And then also, like I said, with my mom, like she was working and like if she wasn't feeling good, like she was going through a little bit where she like was having some issues physically. So I kind of just wanted to step in and cook for the family. And I remember I'd like make dishes and bring it to school for people for fun. So like, it was fun.
It sounds like cooking meals is like your love language.
It is 100%. Yeah.
I get behind that. I love cooking for people too. And I get a little upset when they don't love it. It's okay.
I know.
Well, how about, I think the easy one is that my kids shoot down every single thing that I cook. So I could cook it for them, and they go, "This is disgusting." And I go, "Well, they're the ones. They're my biggest critics."
It's always fascinating to me because, like, if you don't like what I'm eating, then don't look at my plate.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I always end up making like 3 meals in a night. It's always like whatever I'm going to eat, and then a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then buttered pasta.
You know what, though, my biggest pet peeve is when you get something and you're out, and it might not even be a child, but when someone looks at what you ordered and they said, "That looks disgusting." That is like my biggest, and that's been my biggest pet peeve ever since I was in like high school, I guess, when I had my own money to go out and eat. And it was like, but then don't worry about what I'm eating, Like, I would never tell someone that looks disgusting. That's almost as bad to me as saying when someone isn't smiling, you should smile. Like, I don't know who you are, but that just is annoying to me. I don't know. But I think kids are really good for that. Kids are really, really good for that. And then it kind of ruins what I'm eating.
Yeah.
So when you decided to start like a social media page, was Instagram kind of the platform that you went with when you started the whole journey?
Yeah, Instagram's definitely my number one go-to. Like, I try to do like cooking reels on TikTok. I like don't even get views. I don't even get the love on there. But yeah, Instagram, my foodie page means a lot to me there. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Instagram was built for, right?
Yeah. Like, and I'll probably just stick with that.
Well, and I feel like that's what social media is so, and I'm sure you can attest to this even more so than we can, but social media is such a weird thing because it's like, all right, I'll post something on Instagram and then I will post the same thing on TikTok. And I feel like there are a lot more toxic people on TikToks, like TikTok, the platform as a whole, and you will post something and they will say, "This is fucking stupid." And it's like, oh, cool, right on. That's great. And it's like one of those things where like I try not to read comments, but then also like Instagram, I find myself now, my head is in my phone majority of the day, and I'm like trying to interact with people. And if someone comments, I try to engage with everybody. I've even gotten to the point now where like if someone likes a post, I send them a message, and I like a personal message, and I'm like, "Hey, if you want to check out the full video, here it is with a link." But then like I'm spending all of my day like with my head in my phone. Have you noticed, like, is that just, I guess that's part of it?
It's funny you bring that up because I've been having that issue, I feel like, this week a little bit because I'm starting to get more recognized, I guess you could say, more followers, and people wanting me to do like or like asking if they want me to promote my page, which I'm like, sure, why not? So more people are coming onto my page and engaging with me, and it is kind of like addicting in a way. It is, and I have to remind myself, like, all right, put your phone down, because if it wasn't for this page, I wouldn't be on my phone. I could honestly care less. Like, I most of the time my phone's like dead. I'm probably gonna get to the point actually where I'm gonna turn off my notifications just because like I don't want it to blow up my phone constantly. Like, I feel like now when I get the dings, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I'm just looking. I'm like, it's like keeping me up at night, like, because being on your screen all day, like, you're not gonna sleep. It like makes you feel draggy and you're tired, and I don't know, like, you have to balance it. So I'm trying to get back to just like letting myself be on there for maybe like 3 hours a day, 4 hours tops, to do what I have to do, edit, whatever, market with other people, network, whatever I gotta do, and then I'm back to reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hit people once or twice a day, and
yep.
And then call it a day.
Yeah.
I think that's really healthy. It is. It's I find myself like at night, like I'll wake up at 12 o'clock. Yeah, and I'll check my phone. 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, I have all these notifications. and I want to interact with the people because I want to play nicely with like Instagram's algorithm, but at the same time also then I wake up and I feel like a potato. And you know, it's one of those things. And when we started, we would record our episodes and we would upload them, but we weren't really big in the whole social media thing. Like we were like posting our stuff and that was it. And we were getting like listens, but we weren't getting like a ton of engagement. And that's when I realized like shit, like you have to spend so much time like interacting and actually going through and I think that's when like I started to like interact more with your page and like a bunch of like the verified blue check pages in Delaware, and I was just like interacting with people who kind of had, I feel like, a similar, not a similar thing, but like I feel like we're all kind of in the same, like it's Delaware and we're all kind of in the same, you know, arena or whatever you want to call it.
I think that's something good about Delaware. Like Delaware has a good, like, all right, you're on social media or anywhere and you see Delaware shouted out in the wild, every single Delawarean will be hype about that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think too, like, I think the cool thing is, at least I haven't encountered it from Delaware people as much. I feel like there's not a whole lot of like bitterness, and I'm sure it's out there, but like everyone who I've kind of interacted with, it's you know, everyone has been kind of friendly and helpful. I've messaged multiple people with questions or like, hey, how do you do this? I see, you know, some people get millions and millions of views on their pages and their posts, and I'm envious, obviously.
Me too.
But yeah, you know, and
we'll all get there. We'll all get there.
Yeah, we will all get there. But so what is like when did you kind of really start to see that jump, like in terms of like growth? So like obviously you want organic growth. We had this instance where we just had like just a ton of people at one time just start following our page. Like it just kind of happened. So have you experienced anything like that where it was just like just a shit ton of people all at once, or has it been like a kind of nice steady organic growth for you?
There was a little bit of, I think it was like 1 week where it like hit me all at once with these people, and I were like, you know, I was kind of like, I don't, this doesn't seem, I don't know you, this doesn't seem like, this just doesn't seem real. So I kind of just started to go through like my followers and like unadd people, but I've been focusing a lot on doing ads on my page, which is bringing like authentic, real people to my page, and that's what's really been like it's been helping so much recently. So I'm probably gonna just stick with that because, like, you know, there's like the promoting pages and stuff, but I definitely would say that it brings in those do. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
A little sus. Right.
I feel like that's where we've noticed like a lot of our growth has been the running ads on, and some videos like we don't get any like engagement or like ads from them, and then there's just certain things that people really kind of, and I try to cater when I run the ads. Like I don't use the Instagram like use these, like we've gone and based your metrics off of like our own algorithm. Like I'll go in and create my own ads and like try to like really get that population up to like hundreds of millions or at least tens of millions, so that way it's hitting a broader, and I've really just broadcast us out to like Philly and all of Delaware. I haven't even really started trying to tap into like the West Coast and like, you know, other parts of the country. But it's just like, but then it's like the ads are expensive, right? Like I feel like it, and you do pay a cost, and now like with the, if you do it from your phone, Apple charges a charge in addition to running the ad. It's what, like a 20% surcharge or some astronomical, and that hurts too. Yeah.
It's like, do you really want to do this? But then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the risk because clearly it's working. Now, am I going to do it all the time? I'm not a millionaire. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But you know, I would say to like, you know, the smaller little businesses or social media creators, like it is worth putting some money into the ads. Definitely. It brings in like genuine followers. And you know, it's funny you were saying about like expanding. I have such a wide range of foodie followers. Like I have people in the UK, I have people in New York, New Jersey, California. Like it's all over, and I think that's what's like really intriguing to me too, because like I see, you know, a bunch of different recipes and restaurants all over the world from my followers as well. So like I love scrolling on my feed as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stand firm that Instagram is like for food, straight up. Like
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Just let me take pretty pictures of my food and post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm sure I know there's other things now, but that's what I always thought it was to be made for. Can I ask, as like a foodie that goes, you sometimes go to like restaurants and stuff, right?
Mm.
Do you ever like? Do you advertise it up front and say, "Hey, I have a blog or an Instagram page, and I'm going to promote you," or do you just like low key just grab some food and dip and then take pictures later, or what's your shtick?
So I definitely do it low key. I get super embarrassed when I'm like just like trying to get like great angles of my food. You know, like people are just like,
Yeah,
do it, you know. But like, yeah, no, I don't really tell people like who I am or what my page is, just because it's like, I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't see myself really as like anything huge right now. I don't know. So it's, I guess, I'm still taking it in. Like I'm still taking it in that I'm almost at 9,000 followers. That's really like, I can't explain how happy I am that I got to all these, you know, to do this, like to be successful with it. Like I was celebrating 700 followers, you know?
right.
Well, and like I'm going through the gear as you're talking. I have your Instagram open on another tab, and like you know, you say these pictures are like low key, but they look like these are solid. Like they all look like, you know, they look super well done. And it all just looks very appetizing.
I'll tell you what I'll tell you what I if you can, or how about this? This is what I was getting at. What I would love to do if I was in your shoes is say, hey, I've got a blog or an Instagram that I want to like promote your business. Give me some like behind the kitchen, like let me in the kitchen and let me get an action shot of you cooking this, and then boom, here's the finished product. If you've got 9,000 followers, I think you can flaunt that. Look, any restaurant in Delaware is going to say 9K. Okay, cool. Come on back.
That's true. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. And I
don't act. Yeah,
I know. I'm shy. I'm shy with it.
Chick-fil-A, I know they offer kitchen tours, so you can. So the idea with Chick-fil-A is like, hey, our kitchen needs to always be at 100% because anyone at any time can ask to come see it. And I guess where it starts to get kind of like, is obviously you need to pass a health inspection, but then, you know, making sure like they would have to make sure that their kitchen is like ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they
But
let you
like,
back there.
But I feel like a lot of restaurants now, like they do take pride in what they do, and I feel like a lot of kitchens now have like legitimate chefs who make sure. I'm sure it's not like the level of like the Bear where they're like on the floor scrubbing with a toothbrush, you know. But
Blaming at each other.
yeah, right. But I feel like it's a cool like concept to show, especially because like everyone loves food.
Yeah.
You know, and people love to see how it's made, and it brings everyone together. You go to any event, there's always food there to talk about. That's my favorite. Like,
The best
if there's
events.
not food when I go somewhere, I'm gonna be like, I'm super salty, just because then like I have to eat before I come, and you know, but yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
That is a good idea. And it's like, I feel like it's really rewarding too, because I've had so many Delaware restaurants follow me back, like follow me. Actually, just some just are following me or they follow me back, and like they'll reach out to me and be like, "Hey, stop by and try us," and give her.
All you got to do, you got to do is walk in there and say, "Hey, I'm Tia. Let me
I'm
get
here.
Give me the special whatever."
No,
I'm looking at your friendlies post right now.
Yeah.
The ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a super recent?
Yeah.
Was that a super recent outing?
It was last night, and it was.
Oh, nice. Okay, right on. Yeah, that looks great.
It was really
I love
good.
Friendly's ice cream. I do. It's just good. And like, I'm looking at that right now. That looks good.
Hey, Craig, have you eaten dinner yet?
I haven't. Yeah, so I'm going through your page, and I'm just like,
You're not going to be able to do that. Well, let me ask. I asked you for like your favorite like meal at a restaurant that you had.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something right now that you're like the last thing that you cooked that was like slamming? You're like, I'm making that again soon. Do you have like a favorite dish that you're cooking or regularly that you cook?
I'd say I only made it once, but it was so good. It actually was like the Tio's copy asada fries, but I did it at home, and they kind of have a little competition on me. I'm not gonna lie. I was.
Do I hear a cook-off?
I
There you go.
shocked.
Yeah.
Like I got a huge like flank steak, and I never cooked like a steak like that before, so I was really shocked how like well I did it. I was so like ecstatic with myself. I'm so proud. I was like, oh my gosh, like, and I love it too. It's like my boyfriend's family. They were like, "Oh, this is so good!" Like his mom actually was the one that took the pictures for me that I had posted on my page, and I was like, that right there made my entire day. Like people like boosting my food and going out of their way to take pictures of it. Like I didn't even have to do that. Like that was an amazing feeling. That was awesome.
That's good.
I feel like I
gotta try these fries.
Well, but also too, I feel like having support of people is so vital and especially in this like social media world. Like,
oh yeah.
Like I feel like you can do it and you can post pictures all day long. But like on my personal Instagram page, like I'll post a picture and I'm not going to get 1,000 views or likes on it. Like I'm just not. Like if I post a picture of my daughter or my son, like you're not going, like it's not going to get the same response. But then like I feel like I don't know, it's really good to have that support. That's why I always lean on Eric. When that's
that's what we're here for,
Yeah, right.
Daddies together.
Yeah, right. But so we kind of were talking about social media and kind of having to take a step back. So like when you are out like on a date with your boyfriend and is there like I'm not going to social media like Instagram, I'm not really going to be doing a whole lot on there, or is it kind of like an understanding where like, hey, I might have to jump on or answer a message, or is there like a strict no?
I feel like if we're out on a date, like I'm never on my phone. I'm just not. I feel like that's like disrespectful, and I like pride myself on that. I want to be focused on my partner one-on-one. Even like if I'm with my friends, like I'm with you guys. I want to be with you guys. And honestly, most of the time, like if I'm out with my girls, like I'm not really like taking pictures of my food. Now that I'm kind of starting to get a little more following and recognition on my page, now I'm kind of like, all right, I do have to post something. So like kind of real quick, and they're just chatting, but like I balance it though. But like after that, I'm like, okay, I'm here with you guys, But I really try not to. Most of the time, I'm not on my phone.
That sounds healthy. Yeah, you don't want to do too much one way, or the other, because if you just don't ever take the pic, if you go out to a nice place to eat and you don't take the picture, did you even eat it at all?
Right.
Exactly. Did you even get the experience?
Well, too, and then like you just kind of miss out on like a lot of cool shit, you know, and you just miss out on stuff. Like you go to a concert and how many people are recording the whole thing instead of just watching the show. Like I'm all for if you wanted to snap a 30-second video or take a picture or whatever, but like some people will record the entire set and you're paying all this money to go watch a band and you're recording it through your phone. And to me, it just blows my mind.
I never got it. How many times have you gone back and rewatched a concert that you recorded up in the nosebleeds from your phone?
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah,
No.
everything's blurry. The sound's like distorted. I mean, the iPhones are great, but
they're not
like,
that great.
It's not as good as you being there and just watching it. And now I feel like a lot of bands have a strict like no phone policy, or like they'll make you use those bags, or they'll take them or whatever. Food is really big on Instagram. Like a lot of pages are about, hey, here's where I come to this cool little spot, or I ate this at this cool little restaurant. So like, how do you navigate that sector, since there are a lot of different food pages? I mean, there are a lot of everything pages, but I feel like food is, you know, there are a lot of people that post stuff. So how do you kind of keep it like fresh, and or like what separates you, do you think? Like what do you do that's different some of the other peeps?
That's a good question. I feel as though I'm just myself, like just my authentic self. Like I'm not perfect, and like even when I'm making these reels, like I'm doing it with my little iPhone, and it's still an old one. Like I don't even know how behind I am on my iPhone right now. You know, like I do this for pure joy, happiness, and it's a side hobby, and I enjoy doing it. And I feel like maybe, like, I think people can see that. And I love supporting other foodie accounts and businesses. I like communicating with people. I reach out to people. You know, it's not just for me to post, it's also to support other local businesses in Delaware and follow people, you know, in London or whatever, like, and make friends and just have a community that's safe, and we all enjoy doing the same thing, and we all have the same hobby.
I think that authenticity shows. I think that if you don't have that, you don't have anything, you know. I feel like it's super important to have that. So yeah, good.
Yeah. If you were just to go to McDonald's and post a picture of your Big Mac, you know, and like no one is going to care. Yeah, I think being authentic is,
you got to have the passion behind it.
I mean, how many pages do you scroll through where it's just like, if it hasn't captivated you? I think when we were interviewing Brandon from Cartoon Connect, he said, what, after like 3 or 4 seconds, you know, if people aren't engaged, they'll just keep it moving. So yeah, I think the more authentic you are, the more views you're going to get, or the more people that are going to follow you and engage. But what would you say to like somebody who is like, I want to do this? What would you say to them?
I would say to not give up, because I almost did that a few times with being frustrated. And it's also not going to come overnight. Like, it's going to take a long time, and you have to be patient with it, but it's 100% worth it if you're passionate about it. So, you know, just keep it going, and it'll all come when it's supposed to.
Awesome.
Good advice.
Yeah, that's solid.
Thank you.
Tia, thank you for joining us in our first
Daddies Delaware highlights.
Daddies Delaware highlights, episode 1.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Well, we wish you all the best in your food journey. I will, and
Give
Eric
us all
will
the
be
best
there.
spots.
Yeah, we will
Please.
be there following all the spots that you post. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm Greg.
And I'm Eric.
And we are the Daddies. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye.